Welcome, traveler. Come in from the cold. Step out of the biting northern wind and cross the low wooden threshold. Bend your head slightly as you enter, just as everyone has learned to do here. The night is deep, and winter has settled heavily over the land. Snow presses against the walls of the Longhouse, and the world outside is dark, silent, and unforgiving. Inside, the air is warmer. Not warm as we know it today, but warmer than the frozen world beyond the door. The Longhouse breathes quietly, filled with the scent of wood smoke, damp wool, and earth. A single fire burns low at the center of the room, its flames no longer tall, only glowing and steady, crackling softly as embers shift and settle. Come closer. There is space for you here. Along the long wooden walls, people are already preparing for the night. Cloaks are pulled tighter, boots are placed near the fire, not to dry completely, but to keep them from freezing solid. The day has been long, filled with labor, cold and wind, and now the body asks for rest. Take a slow breath. Let the noise of your own time fade away. This is a Viking winter night, more than 1,000 years ago. There are no separate rooms, no private chambers. Sleep here is shared, just as warmth is shared. The Longhouse is not only a home, but a shelter against a world that shows little mercy during winter. The fire is the heart of this place. It is never allowed to die completely. All day it has burned stronger, used for cooking, for warmth, for light. Now, as night deepens, it is allowed to rest. The flames shrink, but the embers remain alive, glowing red beneath a thin layer of ash. The fire crackles softly, sending gentle pops into the quiet air, a sound so familiar that no one pays it much attention anymore. Outside, the snow continues to fall. It does not rush. It drifts slowly, endlessly, piling against the Longhouse walls, covering the roof, softening the world into stillness. The wind moves across the fjord and the fields, brushing against the wooden structure with a low, hollow sound, like a distant breath. Inside, bodies begin to settle. Families lie close together on raised wooden platforms along the walls. Beneath them are layers of straw, animal hides, and rough wool blankets. These are not soft by modern standards, but they are enough to lift the body from the frozen ground, enough to trap air, enough to survive the night. Children are placed between adults, not out of affection alone, but for warmth. Smaller bodies lose heat faster. Here, surrounded by others, they are safer. An arm is draped over a small back, a wool cloak is pulled higher. No words are spoken. These movements are quiet, practiced, and repeated every winter night. Listen closely. You can hear breathing, slow, uneven, human. You can hear the fire settling. Somewhere near the door, a draft slips through the cracks and is quickly swallowed by the warmer air inside. A dog curls tighter near the embers, its body adding just a little more warmth to the room. Sleep here does not come instantly. First, there is stillness, then gradual surrender. People lie on their sides, knees drawn slightly inward, arms tucked close to the body. This is not for comfort, but for conservation. Every exposed surface is another place where heat can escape. Over generations, bodies have learned these shapes. They are instinct now. The darkness deepens. There are no lamps burning. Oil is precious. Firelight is enough. Shadows stretch and soften along the wooden beams above, then fade as eyes close. The longhouse grows quieter, but it is never silent. It is filled with the low, constant sounds of life continuing. Breath, fire, wind, snow.
Let your shoulders relax. You are safe here, for now. In this world, sleep is not a luxury. It is a pause, a necessary stillness between one day of survival and the next. No one expects deep, uninterrupted rest. Waking in the night is normal. Turning, shifting, pulling a hide closer, all part of sleeping. The mind, too, learns to quiet itself. There is no clock counting hours, no thought of morning alarms. The body will wake when it must. Until then, it is allowed to slow. Thoughts lose their sharp edges. Worries grow distant, dulled by exhaustion and cold. Outside, snow continues its endless fall. Each flake lands softly, unnoticed, adding to the weight of winter pressing against the world. Inside the longhouse, warmth is held carefully, shared between bodies, fire, and walls built thick to keep the wind away. Stay here a little longer. Let the rhythm of this place guide you. The fire crackles once more. A breath deepens. A body settles. Night has fully arrived. As the night stretches on, the longhouse settles into a deeper rhythm. Breathing grows slower, heavier. The movements that once adjusted cloaks and hides become fewer. Bodies find the narrow balance between cold and rest, between discomfort and necessity. No one searches for perfect comfort. The body accepts what is available. Shared sleep is not strange here. It is survival. The warmth inside the longhouse does not belong to one person. It belongs to everyone. Each body releases a small amount of heat, and together these small offerings change the air. It becomes less sharp, less biting. Not warm, never truly warm, but bearable. Children stir first. A small movement, a quiet sound. A child shifts closer to the steady warmth of an adult body. A hand moves instinctively, pulling a hide higher without waking fully. This happens many times through the night, unnoticed, unremembered. The fire responds slowly. Embers collapse inward. A faint glow pulses, then dims. The crackling is softer now, slower, as if even the fire is resting.
Smoke drifts upward, finding its way through a hole in the roof, disappearing into the snow-filled darkness above. Outside, the wind changes direction. It presses against one wall, then another, testing the structure. The longhouse answers a small movement, a quiet sound. A child shifts closer to the steady warmth of an adult body. A hand moves instinctively, pulling a hide higher without waking fully. This happens many times through the night, unnoticed, unremembered. The fire responds slowly. Embers collapse inward. A faint glow pulses, then dims. The crackling is softer now, slower, as if even the fire is resting. Smoke drifts upward, finding its way through a hole in the roof, disappearing into the snow-filled darkness above. Outside, the wind changes direction. It presses against one wall, then another, testing the structure. The longhouse answers with creaks and low wooden groans. These sounds are familiar. They do not signal danger. They signal endurance. People do not fear the night the way we might imagine. Darkness is not empty here. It is full of sounds, of presence, of life continuing quietly. The mind does not race. There is no excess energy for anxiety. The cold takes that away. Sleep comes in layers. A light sleep first, where the body rests but the senses remain alert. Then deeper moments, brief but real, where thought dissolves and time disappears. Dreams, if they come, are simple. Shapes, movements, feelings without story. No one expects sleep to last until morning. It breaks naturally. Someone wakes, shifts, listens. The fire still glows. Others still breathe. The night continues. Reassured, the body lets go again. The snow outside thickens. It piles against the walls, insulating them further. The longhouse becomes a pocket of human life carved into a frozen landscape. Inside this pocket, warmth circulates slowly, carefully preserved. Feet are the coldest. They are tucked beneath legs, pressed against another body, wrapped in extra cloth when possible. Frostbite is a real threat, remembered from other winters. Care is taken even in sleep. The smell of wool and smoke fills the air. It clings to hair, skin, and hides. It is not unpleasant. It is familiar. It means shelter. It means survival. Hours pass without being counted. The longhouse remains still, broken only by occasional movement. A cough, a sigh, the soft sound of straw shifting beneath weight. Each sound fades quickly, absorbed by the darkness. In this world, night is not conquered, it is endured. And sleep is not an escape, it is cooperation. Bodies cooperate with cold, with darkness, with one another. They conserve energy. They remain close. They accept interruption. This is how winter is survived. Outside, snow continues to fall. patient and unstoppable. Inside, the fire holds. The cold is strongest just before morning. This is known, felt, expected. The fire is weakest now, reduced to a faint glow beneath ash. The warmth shared through the night begins to thin as bodies prepare, unconsciously, to wake. Breathing changes. It becomes lighter, more frequent. Muscles, stiff from cold and stillness, begin to resist rest. Fingers twitch, toes curl. Someone shifts and does not settle again. There is no sudden waking. Morning arrives slowly, quietly, without announcement. A faint gray light presses against the smoke hole above. Snow outside reflects what little light exists, brightening the darkness just enough to reveal shapes again. Eyes open. Not all at once. One person first, then another. No one speaks. Words cost energy, and energy is precious. Movement is careful. Sudden motion makes the cold bite harder. Bodies rise gradually.
Hides are pulled tighter before being removed. Feet touch the floor reluctantly. The ground is hard, cold, unwelcoming. Blood moves slowly back into limbs, bringing discomfort, then sensation. The fire is stirred. A piece of wood is added. Embers respond, glowing brighter. Smoke thickens briefly, then lifts. The crackling returns, louder now, signaling the beginning of the day. Outside, the snow has changed the world. Paths are hidden, landmarks softened. Everything is quieter, heavier. Winter is still in control. Inside, sleep leaves no trace. The longhouse shifts from rest to readiness. Bedding is moved aside. Cloaks are adjusted. Life resumes without ceremony. Sleep has done its job, not by refreshing, not by restoring comfort, but by preventing collapse, by giving the body just enough pause to continue. And that is enough.